Welcome back to Cossy Podcast. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. Is it time to drop Kai Havertz? Will he come good? Is it wasted money? Should Mikel Arteta actually accept that this is not going to work and try and play players that are even better, like Leandro Trossard and even Fabio Vieira, who is actually lightning good when he came on against Fulham in that 2-2 draw? I want your thoughts. I want your opinions. It's a very complicated topic for people who really understand football. And if you look at Kai Havertz and what he's trying to do and how Mikel Arteta is trying to implement him, then you know it's going to be a very difficult decision for Mikel Arteta to actually drop him. But if Arsenal have to win games, do we have to drop Kai Havertz? For sanity, for goodness sake, do we have to drop Kai Havertz? Do we need a refund as well? Let me know in the comment box below what are your thoughts on the Kai Havertz situation. 3 games into the Premier League season, Arsenal have not looked good. We are not sharp enough in the final third. We are controlling games, and I think many people are actually not looking at that. We are really controlling games, and it actually brings a question in mind. If we are controlling games to that extent, how are we not really winning games with a higher margin, and why aren't we creating dangerous chances and opportunities? Maybe Kai Havertz is the problem after all. Hit the like button for me. Let's get this video to 500 likes. Now, Kai Havertz as a signing is a problematic one. It's one that actually caused a lot of divided opinion in the Arsenal fan base. Some people really wanting him to come into the side, like Harry Simeo of the Chronicles of a Gooner podcast. And like people like me who actually didn't know anything about him, and I didn't really want him to come at Arsenal, but I said, I know how this guy was good at Bayer Leverkusen. I know how good this guy was in Germany, and I think that is what Arsenal wanted. That is Arsenal what Arsenal needed. We need that kind of profile. Has he come good yet? I don't think so. Will he come good eventually? I actually think Arsenal will get something good out from Kai Havertz in the future. That should be noted as well. So what is the problem with Kai Havertz, and should we drop him right from the starting 11? This is the problem with Kai, and the problem actually starts from Mikel Arteta. So if we are going to drop Kai Havertz from that role, if we're going to drop Kai from the lineup, then we have to rebuild whatever we have thought and whatever we have actually been doing, and adapt something different, go for something different. Remember, Granit Xhaka is no longer here, and what Granit Xhaka had actually done last campaign is very different from what Arsenal are trying to do in this season. One thing I love about Kai, and one thing I will really appreciate about him, that again, investigation of space. I've seen him in so many spots where he's just waiting for the ball to make it cross over the line, and he has not got it. He's not got that opportunity. But of course, he allows us to do so many things, especially on the left-hand side, that many people won't see at the moment. But I'm not here to really defend Kai Havertz. I'm here to ask the question, do we need to drop him? So let's start off with the player as well. I think his performances ever since signing from Chelsea have been less inspiring to the Arsenal fan base. And I don't think there is one Arsenal fan, including myself, that will actually come out and say Kai has been such a wonderful signing, and his energy, his intelligence and everything. I think we have not yet seen the Kai Havertz Arsenal signed. We have not seen the Kai Havertz Mikel Arteta brought in from Chelsea. We've not seen that version of Kai Havertz. That doesn't mean we won't see him, and that doesn't mean that it is over for Kai Havertz. It literally means that the system has not actually come around, or the player is finding the system a little bit complicated, or the role he's playing is complicated, or the team as well, as a whole, is not doing well. And for me, it's rather it's the latter rather than the former. I think Arsenal as a team, the players, the 11 players, the system, the manager, we have not actually come to terms with what we are expected to do and exactly how we must do it. I've not seen one player that excites me this campaign. Not one player, trust me. Not Saliba, not Partey, not Rice. No one in that Arsenal team excites me. We've had a couple of good performances. Rice this season, I think against Crystal Palace, was really good. But we've not seen a player, and you feel the way we saw Zinchenko at the beginning of the last season, the way we saw Gabriel Jesus at the beginning of last season, the way we saw Ben White at the beginning of last season, you could feel the energy. You could feel there is something going on. There's something's happening here, at Arsenal. I don't really think something's happening at Arsenal. And it's far away from Kai Havertz. Even when Leandro Trossard came onto the pitch, he actually didn't play that well. So where is the problem with Kai? Energy, speed, and he's too slow. That is my only problem with Kai Havertz. So Arsenal is not a slow team. That is not the way we play our football. So you look at Rice, you look at Odegaard, you look at Saka, you look at Gabriel Martinelli. All these players really play at a high tempo. Our football is at a high tempo, and that is how we hurt opponents. That is how we create our chances. That is how we score our goals. Kai Havertz slows us down. I'm not going to protect him there. I'm not going to defend him there. He actually slows the play down, right? And I think Mikel knows that because in the Fulham game, he actually took him off and introduced Fabio Vieira. What that did is, because we have a player like Fabio Vieira who is a little bit quicker in terms of thinking, in terms of decision making, you could see the difference in tenacity. You could see Fabio Vieira entering the penalty area, winning a penalty. The split second, it actually took him to stop that ball and just cross it across the penalty area for Edin Keita to tap in. That is what you need in that position. I think Kai Havertz is not a slow learner. I don't think he has a slow brain. I think he's slow by nature, like Mesut Ozil. Not the fastest players you have, but really talented, and they've got the ability to do things, at a quick rate. He might not do it at top speed, but he can do things at a quick rate. For example, receiving, turning, and then passing and releasing in space. He's actually got the ability to do that. So if anyone tells me Cossy is slow, he's slow, and he actually slows down, I will agree. If anyone tells me Cossy, his speed is lacking, which is actually being slow. He can't run with the ball the way Martinelli could, the way Trossard could, the way all these other players like Emil Smith-Rowe could, I will agree with you as well. If anyone tells me Cossy, Kai Havertz, and the system are not working yet, I will agree with you, right? But then, is it time to drop Kai Havertz? I'm sorry I'm going to disappoint you, but I'm going to say no, and I'm going to support Mikel Arteta on his system. So you've got to understand, and we've got to ask the question, does the manager believe in Kai? Does the manager think that Kai Havertz will eventually come good? I think the answer is yes. I think Mikel Arteta deserves the benefit of the doubt again. On Alexander Zinchenko, inverted left back, it worked out. On Gabriel Magalhaes, it worked out. On Ben White, it worked out. So he's brought on Martin Odegaard as well. It actually worked out. So he's brought in so many different players, and he's told them to adapt to different roles, and it has actually worked out. So I don't agree, and I don't really feel that we must drop Kai, or Kai is not going to eventually come good. I think the system is going to take some time. The midfield is new, Rice is new to the system, and Kai is new to the system as well. So it will take time, and when we get there, when the system eventually comes around, we will be all right. Okay. So I disagree. It's not time to drop Kai Havertz. It's not time to leave him out of the starting 11. It is time for Mikel Arteta to be a little bit more, I think, harder on players like Kai Havertz. You've got the ability, you've got the talent, you're super, super gifted, but it's not enough, right? If being super gifted was the best art, or was the best gift in football you could ever have, Mesut Ozil would be the best player in the Premier League, because boy oh boy, he was gifted. So with Kai, the one thing he needs to know is that he needs to put in that extra effort. Run. Just make sure you make the run. Just make sure that when the team needs you in a certain pocket of space, you are there. Just make sure that you're not watching. Just make sure that you're part of the play, okay? The patterns will eventually form. The patterns will eventually come around. I was listening to one of my best analysts as well in this country, and he was saying that Kai Havertz as a signing is a shrewd one. It's actually a wrong one. And I say, in my heart and my mind, I say, come on, you're better than that. Because anyone who knows Kai Havertz and everyone who has actually taken some little time to understand what Kai does and what his game is all about, they will know that there is a player in there, and they will know why Mikel Arteta, went all the way to Chelsea and invested 65 million in the signature of Kai Havertz. And one player in Kai Havertz cannot let Arsenal down. He's not your defensive midfielder to say, well, we are getting too exposed because our defensive midfielder is not working out well, right? So if Kai is not working out well, why are other players actually not working out well? So our system actually depends a lot on players understanding each other, and that is why it is not fluent. So the word is fluent, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for a fluent system. We're looking for a pattern of play where it doesn't look so hard and it doesn't seem so hard. At the moment, it looks so hard. At the moment, it looks very, very hard. It looks like Arsenal trying to force it. It looks like whenever we are on the pitch, we are trying to force it. I think it should be the difference. I think we should do things a little bit more differently. So last campaign, one of the things you love, I really loved about this Arsenal sign, and probably one of the things you will have seen is the interchangeability between Zinchenko and Xhaka, the exchange between Martinelli and Xhaka on the left-hand side, and then the interchange between Gabriel Jesus and Martinelli and Xhaka on the left-hand side as well. So it is something that we had worked on very well, and it wasn't forced. Like, we were not doing it cautiously, but we're doing it uncautiously. We have not actually done that yet. When you look at Thomas Partey at times dropping a little bit deep, and then Rice is also deep as well, it doesn't give us options going forward, right? One of them must be a little bit advanced, and then the other could be a little bit deep. I don't think we are there yet, okay? So for me, scapegoating Kai Havertz and not giving him a chance and picking on every mistake that he makes, it's absolute nonsense in my eyes. It's absolute nonsense. You've got to give a player a chance. You've got to trust the player. We trusted Nicola Pepe. I know how that went down. We trusted Bukayo Saka, and you guys know how that went down as well, right? We trusted Gabriel Magalhaes, and yeah, he's a decent centre-back, and a couple of clubs have actually been looking at him. So I think it's the same thing with Kai. If Arsenal ever get fluid, right, and we're playing good football, and Kai Havertz is the only player that is actually letting us down, I'll come here and say, drop Kai Havertz. It's time to let him go, right? But for now, as everyone is struggling, as everyone is still making mistakes, as everyone is trying to anticipate a pass that they are not really sure if someone will be on the end of it, I think it's time. It's just that time for us to take things slow, calm down, and hope things will actually get much better. Now, this is going to be the real test for Mikel Arteta. He's made a signing in Kai Havertz, a player that he trusts, a player that he knows will work. How does he get him to that level? How does he get him to that to that stage of, hey guys, this is the final package of Kai Havertz? Fabio Vieira did very well in the Fulham game, but Fabio Vieira is not a 1 month signing or a 5 month signing. Fabio Vieira was signed last season. So if Vieira shines and Kai Havertz shines next season, I think still he deserves the benefit of the doubt. But let me know what you think about Kai Havertz. Will he come good? I've looked at some of the few signs, and I kind of feel like he will actually come good. I've looked at some of the elements in his game, his ability to run into space, his ability to anticipate runs. I think there is something there. There is something in that player. And maybe Mikel Arteta has to find it. Maybe Mikel Arteta has to dig it out. I don't know. I don't know whether he will do that. But this is one of the signings. This is one of the players that are going to cost Mikel Arteta some knowledge, right? The way John Stones became, Lodri last campaign, inverting into midfield and doing Zinchenko things. That cost Pep Guardiola some kind of expertise and time and everything and resources. So I think Mikel needs to put some resources in Kai and he will eventually come around. But let me know in the comment box below what you think about Kai Havertz and will he come good?